coverage, and the Kenyan government will next month roll out a new drug meant to protect HIV-negative people from contracting the virus. The drug, known as pre-exposure prophylaxis, will be given to those at high risk of contracting the virus before being made accessible to the rest of the population. This is after pilot studies conducted in Kenya and Uganda showed that if taken once daily, the drugs can prevent HIV infection by more than 96%. The drug is taken before exposure to risk of infection. To build adequate protection, people will need to take one pill daily for 7 days. All right, interesting news there. Let's have a conversation here in studio. Joining me right now is Johnston Kuria. He is the coordinator from the Sexual Reproductive Health and Rights Alliance. Thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thank you, Betty.
So this is really interesting news. Tell us more about this drug PrEP. Is it the one that has always been there? How different is it?
Yeah, PrEP is an antiretroviral drug that is normally given to people who are risk of HIV infection. These are, and it's just like a normal ARV drug. Yeah, so it has two combinations. It's two combinations of ARVs. One is tenofovir and also emtricitabine. So this drug is basically to protect the immunity of the people who are at risk of exposure of HIV. And
so how different is this? Because we've had a drug like this before. Is it the same thing? Is it a better version? What's the difference?
There's no difference. What has been ongoing, there have been trials.
Okay.
Yeah, so the drug has just been approved. It was approved in 2016. Yeah, so that is a Truvada. So that is a drug that is working. I know from the general perspective, from the outside, what Kenyans know, they might have heard about post-exposure prophylaxis. Yeah, so this is pre-exposure prophylaxis.
Pre-exposure.
Yeah.
And it's quite categorical that this is only, I mean, right now it's going to only be available for high-risk people. Who are these people?
Yeah, the most high-risk people in this country, these are the sex workers, the people who are using drug, the injectable drug users. We also have discordant couples, the married couples with one partner who is HIV infected and the other is HIV positive and the other one is HIV negative.
Okay.
And also sexual partners who have high risk. Yeah. So these are some of the groups. And then we have also people who have tested with any STI, sexual transmitted infections. Yes, and also those who have been using post-exposure prophylaxis, but it has kind of failed or something. Yeah, so they have to use PrEP.
PrEP. So PrEP is the answer. Okay, so how much of a milestone is this? Because I mean, it seems like we're heading to a better place where, you know, probably, hopefully, we'll have the cure to HIV, maybe, you know.
Sure.
But I mean, what kind of milestone can you describe this as?
Yeah, I think for me, from my perspective, these are great milestones for this country, especially when you are having a rate of new infections, and especially among the young people. If you look at the young people, they constitute almost 63% of the Kenyan population. And from the recent statistic by NASCOP, the figures indicate that we have 51% new infection. And then if you look at the among young people, that's 15 to 24. And then if you look at for instance, some of the methods that have been there, like use of condoms, young people don't really use condoms. I think, from what we know, 1 in every 5 young people engages start having sex at an early age. So this is a great milestone as one of the comprehensive methods of HIV prevention.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Like you said, it's a great milestone, and indeed it is.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, don't you think it's going to encourage, you know, people to actually go out and practice unsafe sex because they know that, okay, let me just take this drug, then I can go out and do whatever I want.
No.
And especially for that age group, 15 to 24, they're very, they want to try everything,
Yeah, I think PrEP, there is a criteria. There is a criteria for you to be enrolled on PrEP. So you must be assessed. Are you a high-risk population? And then there must be a medical practitioner. So there is that history which has to be really taken. And then, of course, what is lacking and needs to be done is awareness, awareness of the general public about this drug. Because if you look at currently, most people really do not know about PrEP. Yeah, so in terms of abuse, yes and no, but I think the measures have been put in place by the medical practitioners not to really to ensure it is not misused.
Okay, and it's interesting that you say that. So you say that, of course, it's not readily available to the public.
Yeah.
But so these people, when they come to get this medication, do you follow through with them, maybe to advise them on better ways of living? That means, using protection and safer ways to go about it.
Yeah, I think one of the misconceptions that might come out is that PrEP is, when you are using PrEP, you have to use other methods of HIV prevention. Like you have to continue using condoms, you have to continue ensuring that you are protected from HIV infection. So if you look at what the studies, the recent studies indicate, is like, of course, 96% effective. But it is effective if it is used with other methods of preventing HIV infection.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, we'll continue the conversation. We'll just take a short break right now, and the conversation continues in a matter of minutes. Don't go away. You can also just throw in any questions that you might have about this new drug that will be rolling out next month. Don't go away.